this gentleman, E.D.S. Shandon, and we have a little project that we're going to do today. We have a, I'm not even sure what the item's called, but basically what you do is you put a pallet on it, and you can spin that and to wrap it. And so that we call it take the wrappy and walk all the way around the pallet to wrap it. This item will lift the pallet up, and then you can spin that to wrap. So the problem was, is the first bearing was totally destroyed on it, and we tried to press it out, and the sleeve bearing out of the part, and the sleeve bearing wouldn't come out,
Check it again.
Okay, so I've got myself a little boring bar on here and got her set up to make this plunge. And let me speed this up a little bit. I want that turning faster than that. And got my DRO or my dial indicator set at 1 inch, so I know was actually 1 1/8 so I get my depth. And so we're going to go ahead and give this a shot and see what we can make of it. Let's see, so I'm going to take this up okay, hopefully I've got this set right and we'll get the right cut on it. Making a nice clean cut in there. Okay, I'm going to check this out and see what our width is in there. It'd be helpful if I had the right tools sticking out here, huh? Then you wouldn't have to wait for me so long. I'm going to take this back so that's not in my way. As usual, I don't tighten it enough. Scared to hurt it. Okay. Okay, let's measure that. Have to flip it around here. This is going to take a little bit because I have to get this in. That feels about right. Okay. So what I got right here is 56 hundredths. It's 0.56 is what it is. Let me see what we need. I think I want to go 0.57. No, it says 0.56. But you know, that's the... Well, let's just go test it. I'll test it again. I'll come back and we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure 0.56 was the total. Hang on. Yeah, that's the shaft size. So we want it just slightly in, just a little bit more. So I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to take it in just 2 points, and then we'll go ahead and this should probably do it for me. Because I don't want to snug fit. I want it to be a real slip fit there. Okay, we'll check it one more time, see where we're at. I need to get this back. Okay, let's see where we're at this time. Oops. And then we'll want, there it is, snug. We're at 58 now. I think that's what I want. I'm going to go test it, and then we'll come back to you. Okay, we've got our part back in here, and we're going to take another pass on her. Need to take out just a little bit more to get down to where we need to go. We're good now. I went down and I measured the shaft with this micrometer and found that I had previously mismeasured it. I was using my digital mic, and this is going to work just perfect. So this should slide right over that shaft. So now I need to chamfer this edge again. So I'll do that. Let's see, where did I put that? There should be. Oops, the bottom of that thing's hitting a... Yeah, that won't work. I have to find something else because that definitely will not work. Let's see if we can... Let me see if I got something I can get in there and chamfer that edge with. So, get back to you. There we go. Cleaned up that edge. Okay. This edge needs to be cleaned up. That edge doesn't look good. There, that's nice. Okay, now the only thing left to do is part this puppy off. Now, where did I put my parting tools? Here we go. Let's go ahead and part this thing. Okay, what I'm going to do now is chamfer that inside edge real quick. I'm going to take and zero this out so I get this back to where it's supposed to be. See if I can get in here and do this without hurting myself. Looks like it. Okay. Take her back to zero. And on my mark. Oops, a little bit hard. There we go. Now we're back at zero. Okay, I'll need something to catch that with. There we go. And this is the part that we're after right here. Specialized little bearing sleeve. You know, I didn't chamfer this edge. Let me get that changed up. We'll set this back in the vise and I'll chamfer that edge too. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I'll take her in. There, that looks nice. Now we have a finished part. So this is what we built, a specialized sleeve bearing for the lift and spin, whatever you want to call it. I'm not really sure what they call those stupid things, but this is going to help us repair it so that it functions correctly. It's hard to believe that that thing turns on such a small shaft. I'd expect it to be much bigger, but that's all it spins on. But what it is, the rack itself is actually supported by a bunch of bearings. So as it turns around in circles, on the outside perimeters, there's bearings that are at the very same level, so that it rides on those bearings as well as the thrust bearing here. So I guess that's a decent design, and but there sure was a lot of wear in that part. With this, there shouldn't be that type of wear ever again, and the wider thrust bearing that we got. Okay, so that'll be that. We'll get that put together, and I'll show you how it works. Okay, I've got this on a flat surface so that I can make sure that these are all down flat. We had marked this as to where it came out, so we could get it put exactly where it's supposed to go. And so now I'm going to tack her back in, and then we can take this and we'll flip it over. We'll weld the other side, flip it back over, weld this side, and go back and test her out. I'll tell you what, I sure hate somebody using my stuff. I never put it back away right. And you finally got it. Have a place for each one of them. They put them someplace else. Okay. Good. Okay, let's get this all kind of lined up the way it's supposed to be. Go ahead and good. Okay. Flip her over. I'm going to get something to shim that. There you go. So we're good there. hootin', very hootin'. We get a file and clean off all that slag off that, because this is the surface that the thrust bearing will be on. So we don't want that to be dirty on a nice clean surface there. Okay, we've got the components here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put some Loctite on this bushing, and I'm going to take it and use it liberally on this part, because I don't want this bearing slipping out of here. So, and I didn't make it a press fit, I just made it a slip fit. Come on, baby, let's go. Oh, it's still hot, no wonder. At least I thought I didn't make it a press fit. Let me go grab something to knock that in here. I'll have to turn off the camera because I'm a little ways away. Okay, so more than likely what's happened to this thing is that when I welded it, it's distorted it some, because this was a slip fit. And now this puppy doesn't even want to go in. So we're going to okay, now it's in. Wasn't too bad, but that Loctite will make sure it never comes out. So I'm going to make sure that surface is clean. Okay, now I'm going to lube this shaft. Lube this plate the bearings are going to be going on. This side. Okay, I'm going to move around those bearings. And lube this washer. Insert it, and it's sitting slightly higher than the bronze bearing on the inside. Okay, good. Okay, so basically this washer is going to ride right down in here. So I want to have plenty of lube down there. Not that that'll move, because our thrust bearing isn't in between them. So one washer of the thrust bearing sits against the base. The other one sits against the base of this top ring. And the bronze bearing doesn't, it's not long enough to hit this bottom base, so it'll never be, the friction will never be on that base. It'll only be on the washer that the thrust bearing sits on. And this has got enough grip on it so that that bottom washer can't be pushed out. So at least that's my theory. So what we're going to do is go ahead and flip this over. The grease is holding everything together. And let's see if I can get this right on that shelf. So this is probably some sort of Delron plastic as a lubricating plate between the steel on the top and below. So what this does is we can set a pallet on top of this, and it's got an air jack in it, lifts it up to the same height as our tables. So as we're putting boxes onto the pallet, we're not bending down. We can take the boxes, we can put them right onto the pallet waist high, and here, so you can put the boxes onto the pallet waist high so that you're not bending over. You're just moving them straight onto your pallet without bending, which is what really gets your back. And so the nice, sweet deal about this is once you got your pallet loaded with the boxes, then you can take your stretch paper, your plastic wrap, like this stuff here, and you can get it tucked into a box, and you can hold this and just kick this around, and you can do your plastic without bending over and without walking around this stinking pallet 1,000 times trying to wrap the silly thing. So so it makes our job a lot easier. And as you load it, you can release the air and it slowly goes down, so you get your next level of boxes so you're never bending. It's always straight across the board, and it works great that way. So that's why we need to get this fixed up. The bearing in that was completely gone before. The bushing was dead. It was all lopsided. It was having a hard time turning it at all. So now I think you can see that this thing turns just fantastic, just like a merry-go-round. So I don't know what these things are called. I don't see a name on it. But like everything, I bought it at an auction. You know, I think I paid $25 for it or something, maybe 30 bucks, something like that. And of course it wasn't usable at the time, but doing a few little repairs, and now we got a nice usable, we've already checked the air part of it, got that all dialed in, and it actually works. It rises and lowers just the way it's supposed to. So there's a working piece of machinery now, and that will really save backs. And with all the OSHA stuff going on now, we need to do that. So we're happy that we got this new addition to the shop, and it's finally working. I bought this probably 9-10 months ago, and it's just been sitting on a shelf because my guys didn't want to touch it. So now we've got it all done. And we can move forward with our next projects. Well, thanks for watching this episode and that little repair, making of a bearing or bushing rather, for that special device, which I still don't know the name of it. Somebody will put it in the comments, I hope. But what I'd like to do is take a few minutes and share with you some of the things that we've been doing around here since the last time you viewed our channel. I'll take you outside. I'll show you something that we did when Ian was here. You might recall that I bought all this steel here, and we've been using it diligently and making things. One of the things that we made is this little shed here that's off the back side of our building. And inside this shed is where our compressor is going to be. Now we've got the compressor in there, but we don't have it hooked up yet or air hooked up to it. We're still using the one that's inside the shop. The other thing that will be housed in this is a 2-level unit, and we've got you can see we got venting on this, and plus there's plenty of airflow throughout the unit. We're going to have our dust collection system in there, and so it's outside as well. So all the noise from both the compressor and the dust control system will be outside instead of inside. So we've got the structure built, and we've got the compressors inside there. I didn't bring a key out with me, or I'd take you inside and show it to you. But I still don't have the dust collection done yet, and I'm thinking about developing a little bit more powerful suction than what I have. So we may, in the future, use some of the aluminum that I have to either cast or build a fan that will give me a little bit more suction power than what I have currently. I've already got a motor for it, and so I just have to build it. And of course, like everything, it all takes time. I'll take you on inside. So right here we have our all that steel outside is channel. So we've taken the channel and we've made posts out of it. So you can see all the way down through there. And these are the posts that we're going to be using on our loft system. So you see our loft up there. There's no protection, fall protection up there. So we're going to put basically a fence up there with gates so that we can still access it with a forklift. So like we did over on the shipping and receiving area, we put a big old gate up there so we can, when we want to, we can open it up and we can lift stuff up onto that deck. Well, this deck is going to be the same. The access for this deck is actually, if you look where that piece of plywood is up there right now, you see that all the way at the top. That plywood, we're going to cut a hole through the wall up there. And I'll show you a second from the other side where it's going to be. And so that'll be like a door onto this deck. So we'll use our one stairwell to access all our loft space in all our shops. So I'll show you what we're doing there. And of course you saw when Ian was here and we built this loft up here. I had a video of me putting down the plywood, and up there on that loft is a plasma cutter, CNC plasma cutter. So the thing is actually too big for the loft. It's massive, but it can cut a 16-foot length sheet. But we're going to make it to where we can cut an 8-foot section, maybe a 12-foot section of steel plate. I don't need anything any longer than that, I hope. So anyway, but we still have to get that all together. There's a lot of work to do to get that done. But on this deck, we're going to also be using that rail system. But what we're going to do to make more room is off the edge of the deck there, you see the fascia board. We're going to come off that fascia board another 30 inches for a walkway around that machine so we can access it from both sides. So, and then our rail system will go on that walkway, and we'll also have a gate on that so that we can access this stuff to pull it off there if we want to or if we need to. So that's what we'll be doing there. I don't believe that we've showed you this. Perhaps we did. This is a sander for sanding doors. So we don't have this hooked up yet either. It's got 460 power, and we don't have 460 in here. I have it to my unit, but I don't have it piped back here. So we have to get a panel set up and get the wire back here. And of course, this is our pin router that we made that special jig for, our big old Yates American bandsaw. That thing is, let's see, it's about 80 years old now. so still running strong. And in my shop, of course, we got, I'm not sure that if I showed you this or not, but we have a loft here as well. So this joins the two lofts between the grinding loft and the loft that we have the plasma cutter on. So I can walk through there and get to my grinding loft. And so the door is going to be, that I talked about, is going to be right up there. We're going to frame in an opening for a door to go onto the loft that's in the welding shop. So then we'll be able to access all our loft space from this one stairwell that we have right here. So I'll take you up there and I'll show you what we got. Right now there's hardly any space to move anything around. This is where our all our stock stuff is. This is all keys and cylinders and that sort of thing. Hinges, stops. This is mostly electrical products. And this is my old Oliver lathe here. And this is the plasma table. Got to get that all set up and leveled yet. And somebody's been up here moving stuff around, I can see. That wasn't like that before. I hope they didn't break anything. It's a problem having a whole bunch of people. Now this is what I wanted to show you. This is actually going to be turned with the door facing this direction. And this rail won't be here. This rail is just temporary for safety. But this is my furnace. So this can take, I believe it was 2,700 degrees. So I can actually melt metal in this thing. So, but basically what I got it for is to temper metal. So this is one of those Lindberghs, well-made, well-known manufacturer of these units. And this runs off of just single-phase 220. So we're going to put our rails all the way along here. We'll have a gate over against this side so that we can access that loft side with the forklift. And we'll have a gate over on this side too, so that the gate can open. We can access that with the forklift. So we can access all of our area with a forklift when we're all done. We're also going to go ahead, since this width here is about 6 feet, and so of this deck here that joins the two decks between the wood shop area and the grinding area. So some of my grinders are now going to go over here, which will give me more room for my tool grinder. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, again, time. And through this whole COVID-19, it's been a real headache because everything takes more and more time. So we haven't been able to do as much because of all the restrictions. The only reason I'm not wearing a mask right now is because there's no one here in the shop, it's just me. Okay, so I wanted to share with you this new addition to my shop. This is a Famco press, and this thing here can press 5 tons. So I got it with the stand and for $80. And the reason I got it so cheap is this arm was missing. So I got a hold of Famco, and I'll tell you what, they're a pleasure to deal with. I talked to Bill out there at Famco, and very, very helpful, knowledgeable man. They got these right out to me. I had them within a week. They came from Wisconsin, and got all the parts. This part here and this part here I had to get replaced because they were missing on this, and of course that's why this went for so cheap. So but really easy people to work with, a nice gentleman there. So if you're looking for and they do reconditions too, so if you want to get a reconditioned one that's high quality, then talk to Bill over there. He'll help you out. Real nice fellow. So, and they didn't pay me to say this. I'm just telling you from my personal experience that they're first-rate company, and you can see that's a first-rate press right there. Look at that cast iron in that thing. That's just massive. And so anyway, I'm totally happy with this. This is we got this on eBay for $99. It's about 2 inches. It was plasma cut, and I was going to build it myself, and I saw that for $99, and I said, well, I'm just going to buy it on eBay. It'll take me more time than I can, and to buy the steel would cost me probably about $70, I would think, just for the steel, and then you'd have to machine it or cut it with a plasma cutter. So my option, I think, was a better one. Saved me a lot of headache, and time. So, well, that's the new additions. So I want to thank you again for joining us here on Erdman Door and Specialty, E.D.S. Inc. Shandon, and our little bit of machining. This first machining I've done in quite some time. Don't get back here too often in the last months. A lot of activity going on. Bad things happened in my life. I lost my father last month, so there's been some difficulties. And just not able to get focused back on doing this type of thing. So I thought it was about time, and I had this little project to do, and it needed to be done before next week because we're going to get 300 boxes in here that need to be shuffled from one spot to another. So I figured I needed to get that little job done, and I needed the relief anyway. I needed the stress relief, and for me, when I'm out here in the shop working with my hands, I'm being relieved. The stress is going away, and I'm enjoying myself. So I thank you for joining me. I know that I'm not perfect. I don't do things a perfect way, but we try to do the best we can, and that's all you can do in doing this stuff. So thanks for watching. If you like this, you can give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. That's fine with me. I'm not, I won't be mad at you. But if you like the content, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. We're going to try to get more of it coming along to you. So thanks much, and join us next time on E.D.S. Inc. Shandon. Thanks much.